Welcome to section 12.2 of genetics. In this section, we'll be discussing Williams syndrome. Let's get started. This scene will take place in Santa's workshop. Notice that one of his most famous helpers, Will Ferrell, is here raising his hand very excitedly. In this scene, Will Ferrell represents Williams syndrome. Next, notice that he's holding up his arm with a list that says 7 deadly sins. Compared to this little elf guy next to him, his arm is quite long. He's holding up the list to remind Santa that kids who have been naughty will not be getting presents this year. The long arm and the 7 deadly sins list should help you remember that Williams syndrome is caused by a microdeletion on the long arm of chromosome 7. Just like in elementary school, Will Ferrell has found some yummy gum stuck to the bottom of his chair. He's pulling it out from underneath the chair in excitement because who doesn't love some old gum stuck to the bottom of a chair? The stretchy gum here should help you remember that the deleted region on chromosome 7 includes the elastin gene. So stretchy gum for the elastin gene. Also, pay close attention to Will Ferrell's face. Notice how he appears a bit overly excited considering the situation. This facial expression here should help you remember that patients with Williams syndrome have well-developed verbal skills and can be overly friendly with strangers. Okay, now let's turn our attention to this little elf guy sitting next to Will Ferrell. The first and most obvious thing to know about him is that he's an elf. This should help you remember another clinical feature of Williams syndrome, which is a distinct facial appearance, so elfin facies. Also notice that he's diligently working, preparing all of the toys that Santa will need to deliver for the Christmas season. He's currently building a toy car. The car here is to help you remember that this disorder results in cardiovascular problems. In this scene, we're going to take it one step further and help you memorize which cardiovascular problems are most common in this disorder. Notice the broken exhaust pipe that the elf is attempting to glue onto the car? This type of an exhaust pipe is a truck accessory that is usually located above the truck. So in this image, it represents supravalvular aortic stenosis. The supravalvular area is located above the heart in the aorta, just like how this exhaust pipe is located above the vehicle. So remember, exhaust pipe for supravalvular aortic stenosis. Okay, now let's add Santa to the image. In this scene, Santa is teaching the elves about kidney bean plants. Also notice that he's drawing a line right through the stem that's going to the kidney bean. The kidney bean represents the kidney organs, and the stem represents the renal artery. So this part of the image is here to help you remember that another cardiovascular problem in this disorder is renal artery stenosis. Now we've added this adorable little dog to the scene. Notice that it's wearing a shirt that says vitamin D, and that it's chewing on a bone with little crystals that are falling to the floor. This is a reference to our vitamin D video and is here to help you remember that patients with Williams syndrome have hypercalcemia due to increased sensitivity to vitamin D. This will be our last character added to the image. Notice anything odd about the way she's holding that book? Let's zoom up so you can see a little better. That's right, she's holding it upside down. She must not be thinking too clearly at the moment. The upside down book here is our symbol for intellectual disability, which is another clinical feature of Williams syndrome. So upside down book for intellectual disability. And with that, I think it's time for me to take a break and catch up on some Christmas movies.